going to show you how to key chip the board to the machine. So we're going to start off by make sure our machine is turned off. You're going to remove the bottom speaker plate. We'll get the board. All right, when you get your board, you're going to look for your base chip, stepper base chip, and you're going to remove it with a regular screwdriver. You're going to come underneath the chip, and you're going to rock the screwdriver from right to left, push back a little bit more, right to left, till you get to the back, right to left. Once you get your stepper chip out, you're going to turn your chip upside down so you do not affect these prongs. Then we're going to go with our 97 clear chip. You pull out your 97 clear chip, it's very important to note that there is a little slot at the end of the chip. So the orientation of this chip is very important. If you put it in backwards, you will burn the chip. So on the board, if you look here where it says base, there's a little notch right here. And that notch has to match the notch that's on your chip. So we'll put this in. Usually I do the back side first to line up the pins and wiggle it till you get it to sit down in the back, and then in the front on the opposite side. Once it sits, then press the chips in, noting that the little notch is on the same area where it says base. Then once we got that, you're going to take your board, put it back in the machine, and make sure it sits to the back. So you push till it sits. Once that happens, then you're going to come up here and turn your machine on. Okay? We're waiting for this little cycle. Everything will cycle. You're waiting for an arbor light to come on. Once the arbor light has come on, now it's time to turn the machine back off. So we'll turn the machine back off, pull the board back out, and then we're going to remove that clear chip. Same thing, take a screwdriver, come to the front, and walk it back and forth till you get it all the way to the back and forth, right, and rock your screwdriver right and left. Once you get this out, set it aside upside down. Now you're going to come with the other clear chip, which is a clear chip 31. So we'll remove this one. All right, same deal. The notch that's on the front of this chip, this side does not have a notch, this side has a notch. You want to make sure your notch matches your base. Where it says with base, and there's a little notch in this right here, those have to match. So you put this in. Same deal, work the back side first, get those in, wiggle it till you get the other side. Sometimes they can be a little hectic. So once it sits, push them in. Then, sorry about that. Put the board back in the machine. Now we'll turn the machine back on. And this where you should have two arbor lights up here. Let the bill validator go ahead and cycle. You take, once your two arbor lights are there, you turn the machine back off. Pull the board back out again. And you're going to remove that clear chip. Same deal, take your screwdriver, come underneath the chip, rock it to the right, rock it to the left, and move your screwdriver in right and left, till you get your key chip out. Okay, once your key chip is out, set it aside, upside down. Go back to your actual stepper base that which you originally took out. Check for your notch. There's a little notch right there on this side, and there's nothing on this side. So that notch has to match your base. So we're going to put that in. Work your back first. Get your back legs in. Once it sits in, press it down. Once that's done, you'll put your board back in. Go ahead and put your speaker plate back on. Put your chips out of the way. Put this one back in our styrofoam. This one in our styrofoam. Protect the legs. Okay, put those aside. Put our speaker plate back on. Sits in. We'll turn our machine back on. Now you should have a bill that says Netplex link is down. Please wait, tested memory. Make sure the door stays open. It takes a couple seconds for this to do its thing here. Just be patient, let it do its thing. Sometimes it takes a good minute or so for this to test its memory. Once you get a RAM error, you're going to turn the key on the side 4 times. 1, again, that's 4 times. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have 4 key turns. What's that noise when you see the RAM error? And then it'll say press test switch for 2 to 3 seconds. So you'll open the door again. There's a little test switch right here. You're gonna press that for about 3 seconds. So we're gonna hold it down. 1, 2, 3. Release. Go look at your display. Now it says please close main door. So we're gonna close the main door. Make sure your latch is down. And it'll say initializing. And it's going to test the memory again. Again, it takes a few minutes for this to test its memory. So be patient, let it do its thing. Just wait. It'll come up here in just a second. All right, now it's tested the memory. It's going Netplex auto config in process. Waiting for Netplex devices. Now you'll see a call attendant. So when it says call attendant, open the door. times. That was 1, 2, 3. That one is 3 times. Come back, look back over here. Again, please wait, testing memory. Make sure the door is left open. Again, the key is just be patient. Let it do its thing. It's doing its thing in the background, testing its memory. All right, now it's waiting for Netflix devices. Everything should start to come alive. Now, what's going to happen is it's going to go to our set mode, which is our 7 key chip config mode. So, you got 4 keys that you're going to work with, which is going to be your service, cash out, spin rails, max bet. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit our spin rails button, and it should come up key chip config. So that's what we're going to set first. Hit spin rails again, denomination. So we're going to select denomination. We're going to hit spin rails one more time. Sorry, back up here. Sorry about that. Okay. Back up. Denomination. So we hit denomination, hit spin rail. Counting denomination, spin rail again. Accounting. Hit spin rail one more time. And then you got these 2 here, service and cash out, will let you select. So this is your increment. So you're going to set this for whatever the machine is for. So in this case, this is 1 cent. So this one lets us go forward. This one lets us go backwards. And we get 1 cent. Once you get that set for the accounting, whatever the machine is set at, you're going to hit max bet. Max bet is like your enter key. That's going to be what will accept. So once you hit max bet, it's locked in. So now the counting is set for 1. Hit spin reel again. We got, let's see here, denomination, game selection, bonus menu, cashless controller, machine type. We're going back to denomination. Denomination, counting denomination. What is that? Coin denomination. Once you get the coin denomination, you're going to set that as 1 penny too. Max bet accepts it. Player denomination. You're going to set that for 1 cent as well. Player denomination, 1 cent. Domination touch panel, do not worry about that. Coin denomination, all those should be set to 1 cent. Player denomination, touch panel, don't worry about. Counting denomination, all that should be set to 1 cent. So once the denomination is set, we're going to go to your game selection. Game selection, to select it, you'll hit the spin rails. Now this is where you're going to set your payout, how much you want it to pay out. So this is 98%, and you should have 4 or 5 settings here. You can choose whichever you want on your payout. That's 98%, 97.48%, 96%, 95, 94, 92, 90, 87, 85. So 85 is going to be the lowest payout. And then go, so usually I go somewhere in the middle. So we'll say this one at 95%. Once you got that where you want it, you hit the max bet, which is like your enter key. So that sets now the payout. Bonus menu, do not worry about, nothing's going to be set there. Cashless controller, don't worry about, nothing's set there. Machine type, you're going to select that to press your spin wheel. Machine type, right now it's set at unknown. You're going to set that as upright. Once that's set at upright, hit max bet, that's your enter key. So now it knows what machine type it is. Token nation, don't worry about. Options, right now, don't worry about. So everything in here is set. So now we're going to hit max bet to get out of it. Now it comes back up to chip config. Hit the cash out to go to key chip config 2. Hit your spin reel button. Validation, don't worry about it. Printer, this machine doesn't have a printer attached to it, so don't worry about that. Voucher, don't worry about that. Hand pay, don't worry about that. Coinless mode. Coinless mode, this is very important. So coinless mode, hit your spin reel to select it. Coinless mode, we want that enabled, not disabled. So we're gonna go enabled, hit max bet to accept it. Then we move over to the 7 segment display type, don't worry about that. Validation, don't worry about that. So we're all good there. So hit max bet to get out of that. Progressive, don't worry about it. So everything is set there. So then you come over here, you're gonna hit max bet until this clears out. Keep hitting max bet. And then once that clears out, then the machine has now accepted your settings. And you should have a door open. And that's gonna be because the door was open. So we're gonna shut the door, close it. And to clear the errors, every time you pull this lever up and down, it will clear. It's like a clear. So we're going to turn the machine off and then turn the machine back on. Problem with the rails. For some reason, it's thinking this machine is tilted. There. And then you should be, after that, then we want to come ahead and open the door again. Press our reset switch for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And it should come up accounting. And we're going to look for options. So we have our options. Select the same thing. You hit your spin reel. Machine options. We're going to go to sound options. So once you get to sound options, you hit spin reel again. volume control, game volume. This is where you can set your volume for your game. Money volume. Spin reel sound. I always leave that set to on, and you're going to do your reel stop sound. I usually leave that set to solenoid. Mechanical bell. If the machine has a bell, you can set it to where you want the mechanical bell on hand pay only. Multimedia. Once you get to multimedia, you want to make sure that is in stereo. So you'll hit that, then go to audio mode, stereo. You can set mono or stereo. Whatever you do, stereo, select max bet for enter. So once that's set, hit max bet till it gets out of it. Close the machine, and everything should be good to go. All right, that's it.